What's the latest on Gyokeres? According to Alex Crook, I had a message 24 hours or so ago suggesting that Viktor Gyokeres has told friends and family that he expects to join Arsenal. Arsenal are juggling both him and Benjamin Sesko, but at the moment, I would say Gyokeres looks the more likely. Juggling, like we're just like this, trying to figure out who you're going to get. I don't think we've not made a decision on who we want to get. I think it's just about money. We're just waiting for the one who's going to be slightly cheaper and better for the financial structure of the team, both in terms of fee and wages and agent fees, all that. We are looking for the one who's going to be a better deal. If Sesko ends up wanting 85, Leipzig end up wanting 85 million for Sesko, and then Gyokeres becomes available for 60, I think we are going to end up getting Gyokeres. But if Gyokeres Sporting say they want 80 and Sesko goes down to like 70, we are going to get Sesko. That is how I feel. I think it's about the money and who which deal would be better. I think that is what Arsenal is waiting for. I don't think you're going to finalize a striker signing right now. I think it's going to be something that is going to carry over until next month, unfortunately. Hopefully, though, we do end up getting at least one of them. We cannot finish this transfer window without any of these guys, because the moment you start hearing that, there's a bit of talks on Vlahovic and Watkins and this, you start feeling like, okay, do they think they're not going to get any of them? And if you end up getting Watkins this transfer window, I said I'm not going to be happy, because you might as well just have got him back in January. We said we're not going to spend that money on him because we're keeping our powder dry for the summer transfer window. The summer transfer window is here. You cannot just go back and then you just sign Watkins. You might as well just have signed him in January, then pay that 40 million. Maybe you'd have ended up going further in the Champions League, maybe to the final with that striker there. So we have to go for the big signings that we want. Man City went for Haaland, treble the very same season. So you have to go for the big players if you want the big results. So that's the latest on Gyokeres. Next up, Thomas Partey. We talked about him in the earlier stream. Thomas Partey is expected to leave Arsenal as negotiations of a new deal are at a standstill. A source has told ESPN Partey will leave the club on June 30th. This is according to Martin Moreto. So there is a lot of journalists today and in the know accounts saying that it looks like Partey is going to leave. So hey, it's now starting to look like there's a big chance. I'm still going to say it's 50-50, but the odds are not looking good unless Partey decides to settle for what Arsenal offered him, or Arsenal decide last minute that, okay, maybe you're not going to get a midfielder, or maybe whatever we are trying to do in terms of changing up and playing Rice as a 6 and maybe getting a new number 8. If they feel like that is not possible, then they might go for, they might decide to keep Partey for another season. Hopefully, though, now, if we lose both Jorginho and Partey, it's going to need to be a very, very quick settling period for Zubimendi. He has to be ready from the first game. All those fixtures, we'd have to... He's a player who's played big games, but the English tempo is obviously always a bit worrisome. I mean, never know. Top players have come from different countries and they come to the Premier League and, it becomes a challenge. But I'm hoping, I'm confident he is going to settle, but it's going to have to be from day one now. If you're not going to have Jorginho or Partey, unless we have plans of moving Rice back to the number 6. Listen, if you're moving back Rice to the number 6 and then you're going to buy Eze or Rogers to play as the number 8, I might be able to handle the blow a little bit better. But, if you're letting Partey go, all of a sudden you need a number 6 unless you have plans for that number 8 position. I'm just so interested to see how our team will look after this transfer window, because we cannot mess up again at all. Anything we decide to do, whether it's in terms of changing the formation or changing the roles of a few players like Rice or Lewis Kelly, whoever we decide to get rid of, whether it's Partey or Martinelli or Trossard or Kivio, whoever we decide to let go of, hopefully we do have a plan, because it's a big season coming up, big season for everyone. Next up, Lewis Kelly. Fabrizio says all documents are now ready for Miles Lewis Kelly to sign his new contract at Arsenal. That is fantastic news. Lewis Kelly will be an Arsenal player for next season and many more seasons to come. What a player he is, man. He's absolutely incredible. As I've just said, we might change the roles of Rice next season, but we might also see Lewis Kelly in some new positions. We might see him back in midfield if we don't get a replacement for Partey. And if Zinchenko leaves, because Zinchenko is a guy who always goes into midfield and does a job whenever he plays. So how will Lewis Kelly cope as well? Which position will be the best for him. I think if Calafiori like very, very fit, I think Calafiori would start at left back and then we'd use Lewis Kelly in the midfield areas. But because there's a bit of injuries there with Calafiori, we would also want to protect him from getting any more injuries. So let's see how it goes. But that's the latest on Gyokeres, Partey, Lewis Kelly, and Noni Madueke. What do you make of that? Would you take Noni Madueke at Arsenal as a backup for Saka? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.